I want to live in a world where Johnny Fever and Punky Brewster's adopted father are brothers. Also, Black Lives fucking matter. Jamie,
Yes.
let's go watch Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. Here we are, as we are, to talk about a movie from the 1980s. It is myself, Jamie Lorello, along with a DP McCambridge.
That's right.
And we usually pick our episodes or our movies based off of something going on, something relevant
Right.
happening. In if it's relevant, like National Pizza Day relevant. This
Not
time,
important relevant at all.
exactly. This time, however, without even trying, we feel really kind of hit the vein, the pulse,
Yeah.
if you will. The silly pulse, of course.
I feel really silly for having chosen this. Like, I really did. Sitting down to watch this, I kind of felt icky, and I was like, oh no, are people going to think we picked this just because? Please don't think that we picked this for
No,
any other
no.
reason other than it's the summer of sequels, and this is, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't quite as tense, let's say, or, well,
Yeah.
it's always tense. I think we should say that, but it wasn't. It didn't blow up the way it has now.
Right. The events have definitely escalated.
Exactly. Yes.
So, well, but like you said, the reason we've chosen this movie is because it is a sequel. There is a Police Academy 1, and as you've taught me earlier, before there's
Before
Police
the
Academy up
regular
to
people
7.
started
Yeah, before the
listening.
regular
Patrons, we went through the entire series already.
7 of these, and this is number 2. Police Academy 2.
Yeah, which again, Police Academy is about them being in the police academy, and
Just learning. They're just learning how to be the police.
well,
Right.
I would argue that they're still learning by the end of this movie how to be police.
Yeah, it's a curve. This is just their first assignment as a group.
right. Their
Their
first
first assignment.
assignments. And it's confusing because they're not on the same assignment. Now, I don't understand how police work, but the idea that one of them is a motorcycle cop, the other one is in a car. It seems Steve Guttenberg does not get a car at all. He just has to walk everywhere he goes.
Oh no, he's got that one truck with the dog. and the
yeah. It's like a pickup truck that they put a cage in the back of.
yeah, with the hugest, furriest police dog ever.
Yeah, I was
It's like a Malamute. Is that a type of a dog?
let's just call it Clifford and leave it at that.
Okay,
It's
there
a
you
big red dog that he brings around. But yeah, I did not. At no point did they say he was part of a canine unit, right?
No, well, no, it does say it on the car at one point.
No. I
think, or on
know,
the
but
truck.
even
Oh, no,
when he's
but they
talking
don't
to his
say it.
boss, he's
No.
like, "Oh, I see. You're neat and orderly. You apparently like to take showers. I got just the partner for you."
Yeah.
Nothing about a dog or anything like that.
No, and the dog really doesn't do anything
No.
except fetch the ball. It's not like he's helping to solve any of the crimes or sniffing out any of these. Maybe the dog is the problem on the team. Maybe he could help them find these punks, these scullions. Is that the name of the punk group?
I don't know.
That's terrorizing this town.
I don't know. I think terrorizing is probably not the correct term. How about those grown men playing football? They're standing about 6 feet apart
Oh,
playing football in front of
yeah.
them. It's like, why are the punks harassing these guys? There's no reason for
That's
this.
just so Bubba Smith can come in and throw a football, right? Isn't that what that's for?
Right, that's it. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
so we could go, oh, Bubba Smith, football, I get it.
Yeah,
but
I gotcha.
if you want a Bubba Smith scene, when all those leather daddies, let's call them leather daddies, are rallying
like
around
that.
him, and they're just like, we're into this guy. And he like adjusts his tie. I really enjoyed that.
That's some sweet time with Bubba Smith, I agree.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, so it's Police Academy 2. But before we start, if people are curious, don't forget we have a Patreon, and we've already started the Summer of Sequels over there.
Yes.
With our depressing discussion of Missing in Action 2, The Beginning. So if you want to listen to us just be really upset that we had to watch a movie, go check that episode out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck Norris, listen. Is our other Chuck Norris a Patreon movie too?
No. You can go back and listen to Silent Rage? No. What's that movie called? Do you even remember?
I was silently raging while we watched it, maybe. Maybe that's what you were thinking.
If you want to listen to us talk about two movies where horrible things are happening, one, a man is being burned alive. Another one, a woman is sobbing because her family was murdered. And Chuck Norris's response in both is basically, they're there. It's okay. If you want to listen to us discuss that, go to Patreon or go back in time about a year. Find it on the podcast feed. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't remember the name of that movie.
It was Silent something,
Silent
right?
Justice? Private Justice?
No, maybe Silent Just... But was he... I don't remember.
I don't know. It's a terribly dumb movie.
It was terrible.
But strangely enough, that one was way more fun than Missing in Action 2.
It was.
Yeah, I put on social media, I was like, I think we're doing Patreon wrong because we're giving people things like Back to the Future, and behind a paywall, we're like, ooh, Missing in Action 2. You want to pay for that stuff.
Well, I mean, it is an entertaining conversation we have because the movie, as horrible as it is, does... sometimes it's fun to hear us get upset.
Yeah. A guy gets malaria multiple times in this movie.
He can't kick it. He just can't kick it.
Injected with opium and thinks he's fine for a minute.
He's dancing. He's ready to take on the Vietnam.
Anyway, you know what, guys? It's over on our
It's
Patreon.
on the page.
It's patreon.com/goodtimesgreatmovies. So check it out. But now for regular episodes, we are into the Summer of Sequels.
Here we are.
We're starting with something that is arguably funny.
Yeah. Like you said, some good chuckle moments and something Summer Sequels. Like you said, this was sort of every year they put out one of these. This was sort of a staple of the 80s, this Police Academy.
Yeah. And I'm not sure why.
That's
kind of my question. Again, I was a little too young. It's not like my parents were into Police Academy, and it's not like I was old enough to drive to the theater. So I never really saw these movies. I ended up watching a few of them when they were on TV, but I couldn't tell you which ones I watched. I couldn't tell you the plot of any of them.
No, same here.
I'm still confused about the plot of this one because I'm convinced nothing really happened.
There's really, I mean, these punks are just kind of punks in the town or in the city that they exist in. They don't really murder anybody. They don't really. They're just sort of like, their leader is Bobcat Goldthwait, who Zed, I think is his name, is the leader. Zed. And he's just sort of Bobcat, just crazy, and just like has these little manic episodes, but doesn't. And he's not like necessarily leading their charge in everything. I mean, when they go to the fair, maybe in the grocery store, but they kind of make their own mischief in the town.
Because he doesn't. There are guys later that rob the lamp store. Again, the lamp store.
Yeah.
Gets robbed, and those guys are not part of his gang. Like second time, right?
I don't know, because the second time they come in like as a shakedown. They're like, Jimmy wants his money or whatever. I don't think they say Zed wants his money. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because you're right in that this gang seems to be the big thing. Once the gang is caught, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
But they're reading out these crime statistics that there's no way Bobcat Goldthwait and these 4 other dudes are responsible for all of this crime. And also, that's not even really the plot of this. The plot of it is the fact that head of the class is the police chief.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't stop Bobcat Goldthwait, he's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
But then there's police. Who are the bad police guys?
I don't know their names. They're the
okay.
only one whose names I didn't write down.
Yeah, but the whole point of this is then they want to sabotage the police academy crew.
Yes. So that they could...
Right. So head of the class gets fired. Like, that's what this movie's all about.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever happened in this movie, I don't think I'm a fan of Police Academy movies.
You don't think
really
you are?
No.
That's okay. That's okay. This is your discovery. This was your first assignment, and you didn't like it so much.
Oh, all right. So this is from 1985. I mean, listen, if you've seen a Police Academy movie, you know who's in this.
Yeah, you got your lineups. So the Gutenberg is Mahoney. Who's there's that fun comedian Michael Winslow that does all the sound effects with his mouth.
Of course, he's there.
He's Jones. Tackleberry, the tall guy that likes the guns.
He loves his guns.
Yeah.
He loves his guns so much. And were you shocked that Wayne from the Wonder Years is in this too?
Again, not
so
long, but does
85.
pull up. Yeah, does pull up. And anytime they needed just a kid that was kind of a dick kid, they were like, come on, you going to be a stooge? Come on.
In 85, this, Back to the Future, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he was in all three of those movies.
Wow. Yeah, he was getting booked. He was getting booked.
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah.
Tackleberry, Hightower is, of course, Bubba Smith.
Yep.
Then there's that nerdy guy. I don't think I wrote his name
I just
down.
called him the Jewish cop. Fackler? Something with an F was his name.
Yeah, something like that, who I kind of remember, but he doesn't have a
He might have been
personality.
replaced, because like you said, Bobcat becomes a cop in the later episodes.
And the nerd lamp store owner becomes a cop. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if after this movie they were like, who is that? Let's get rid of this guy.
Yes.
We have a new nerd.
Right.
He really, people fell in love with him at Police Academy too. We got to get him in there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he was replaced. And also, spoiler, Tackleberry's wife, she is only back in Police Academy 4.
She takes a little break.
She does take a break. She had more of a career. Her name is Colleen Camp. She played the French maid in Clue.
Oh, yes.
And she was also the Brian Doyle Murray's wife in Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah, she was the
this
lady
is all
who was
like
just like, I came up with the name, Noah's Arcade. I just opened my mouth and out it came. And then one of the guys working on Wayne's crew is like, and can I say your wife is totally hot?
And she took a break because she had some other things in her career to do. So she was like a hottie actress of the 80s, I guess.
Yeah, I think she was in a lot of Cinemax movies as well, just looking through her IMDb. Just based on the names of these films, I have a feeling she did a lot of that stuff too.
Okay. Yeah. So she's used to the cuffs.
But also, like we said, I think earlier I think she was replaced too, because they got that tall
the taller
woman,
lady.
You know? And
what about the lady with the squeaky voice?
I was so sad that she doesn't, because again, as I said, I feel like I've seen later movies where she has way more to do. They gave her nothing to do in this movie.
Yeah, well, because we'll get to the assignments. What she's assigned to is pretty pitiful. She's like just the operator, basically, or the receptionist.
Let's call her
dispatcher.
The operator. Dispatch, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You know your police.
I just had to. I got
that's
there.
Okay.
I got there.
I enjoyed when the guy kept making fun of her, and every time he made fun of her, he was just like, "I do declare, what am I gonna do?" It's like, I don't know that this joke is working, but I was kind of into it. So the movie opens where we see a nerd. Mm-hmm. He's closing. I wrote what appears to be a lamp store. I thought I was writing a joke. I wasn't. It's a lamp store.
Yeah, it's full of but closing the lamp store, like securing that there's a bear trap, there's a flashing lights, there's a fake dog bark. There's barbed wire. There's a Clint Eastwood cutout.
Sure.
There's process.
Electrified barbed wire. Like when he goes down the barbed wire, you can see it like sparking and stuff.
I guess because people in that neighborhood like their lights.
Right.
And
also, in 1985, did ATM machines say hello to you?
I guess.
Very confusing. The ATM machine continues to say hello, and he, for some reason, feels a need to respond by saying hello back to it.
He's a curious little man. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he goes to the ATM right after he locks up, and it's weird little ATM machine. But there's these punks, right? These punks that come and bother him. And
I was so happy to see Bobcat Goldthwait in this movie, and it's very early. We're in like the first 2 minutes of this movie, and you see him, and he's not a cop yet. He's like a weird punk. But still so goofy. Like, I don't know how he's the leader of this group other than everybody assumes he's unhinged and nobody really wants to get in his way.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, because even when Gutenberg meets up with them later in the old zoo, it's great headquarters, by the way.
We're in the old zoo. I'm in the old zoo. We're in the old zoo. It's the old zoo. Do you hear me? The old
zoo. And that microphone they put on him when he goes undercover. Oh my God. Yeah, Bobcat he's Bobcat in this. He's unhinged is a good description.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no different than the character that he plays in any other movie. It's just they put a leather jacket on him, and they're like, okay, now you're a punk and you're a villain, so just be Bobcat Goldthwait as a villain.
Right, because people are... But see, that's the thing. You don't not like him, right? You don't hate him.
He was a breath of fresh air.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of these personalities are fun. And I know that that's what this film series is. It's like, let's get a lot of goofy personalities in here and just let them go crazy. Because most of the time, someone who is somewhat interesting is on screen, and I guess that's enough to hold it together.
Well, once Gutenberg puts his sleeves back on, I don't know if I'm so interested anymore.
We have to talk about that Taylor thing, because I did not know what was happening. At the end of that, I was like, is that a deleted scene? Did somebody just slip this into the movie?
Why do we need this?
I don't know. But we find out that it's the next day, and we find out that Howard Hessman, or, as we said, the teacher and head of the class, or Johnny Fever, depending on how you know him, he's in charge of this precinct.
He's the captain, right?
Right, yes. Yeah. And it's the worst precinct ever. And it's
a hot mess.
Yeah, and his boss shows up, and it's like a weird, almost like an ultimatum that would be in Breakin' 2 or something, where he's like, you have 30 days to turn this place around, or else evil land developers are coming in, or something. And he asks for more people because, well, he's been defunded. It's so weird. I felt so uncomfortable watching this. I felt so uncomfortable rooting for the cops. Although I was kind of rooting for Bobcat Goldthwait. So
I mean, a little bit. Yeah.
So he is told that he can hire 6 new people.
And he has a connection because his brother, Punky Brewster's dad, works at the academy, leads it, is the chief of the academy, and has been training these new cops to be ready for their first assignment, for their line of duty.
Yeah.
So he calls his brother, like you said, they have a fun exchange where he calls his brother and he's looking for some strong young men.
Yep.
His brothers.
And Punky Brewster's dad does not bat an eye at all, because he's just like, well, there are places you can go. There are some bars that I know of. It is the first of, I think, 2 legitimate laughs I had in this movie.
This was a documented laughter for you.
And as I was telling you earlier, this is very early in the movie, so I was like, okay,
it's going to be good.
I'm going to strap in. It's an early police academy. How bad could this be? Little did I know.
Little did you know there was no plot at all.
There is a slimy weasel cop. His name is Mauser.
Oh, that's his name, Mauser. Yes, he's the lieutenant,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's out for Howard Hessman's job, and he's like,
Yes.
okay, if I can get these new recruits to fail, I'm gonna
Right.
get his job, and then I'm gonna need. How about that guy who's his
The
second in
dopey
command?
guy?
Man, is that guy dopey? I could have used a little more of him too. Every time he was
Yeah,
on screen,
he had some good. Yeah, he
saying
had
stuff. I
some
was
fun.
into it.
Like when he was saying stuff, I was into it.
When they gave him something to say, I was all about it.
Oh.
So we do get introduced to our police academy graduates and what they are up to now.
Yeah, yep, and what their assignments are before they belong to the 16th.
Most of them
Tack-
aren't cops. Like,
Well, they're
is
like
Tackleberry like a crossing guard? Like, what is
Yes.
he? And is Michael Winslow a mall cop? Is he just hanging out at the mall?
yeah, yes, they think they're low rate kind of
Okay, all right.
protective officer. So yes, Tackleberry is a crossing guard.
Okay.
And is helping, but again, wild misuse of weapons.
He almost shoots Wayne from the Wonder Years. He shoots holes in that lady's car, and she seems grateful.
She's so excited. Well, she's having some issues with her son, who's just, he can't get to school in time, and he's always running late, and she's just had enough of this little bastard child of hers. And she just wants the cop to give him a good talking to, and Tackleberry just kind of blows out the car, like you said. It's not even, and yeah.
And it's a weird thing too, because it's not like she's at home and he won't get out of bed or he won't.
No, she's driving him to school. Yeah.
School. He just won't get out of the car.
Yeah.
Like,
But now he does.
Yeah, now he
hustles.
gets out of the car because
Yeah.
he blows holes in that thing. Again, I've seen crossing guards near me. None of them are police officers. And
No.
none of them have firearms.
They're adorable little old ladies, is what they are, and
Yes.
it's sweet. And they're I know.
Yeah. We also see Michael Winslow is
Yes.
apparently a mall cop.
Yeah, he's in like a food court area, right?
That food court looks like somebody's giant living room. Like it looks like
Yeah.
the Golden Girls living room or something. There's little palm trees everywhere. It's almost, I think it's carpeted. But he's just sitting in there doing his Michael Winslow. I did think this was kind of fun too.
Yeah, there's a yuppie couple that is in the food court, and they sit down to have a meal together, and he starts making these random bodily noises, like loud chewing and kind of gurgly tummy noises, and it is funny, especially because it's kind of amazing how he's able to do that.
I mean,
with
it's
his
Michael
mouth.
Winslow on screen.
Yeah.
Anytime Michael Winslow is like doing those funny noises, it's funny. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I
It's
know.
like whatever. That's what he's there for. That's what you know you're getting. But he delivers it every time. Did you love how when he's doing that whole karate fight?
Oh, I love the
that Asian
Bruce Lee
guy's
karate
voice
fight.
is dubbed.
Oh,
I found it so entertaining.
When he's like, "Oh no, not the carrots."
Not the broccoli, not the carrots. I was just like, this is fantastic.
Yeah. No, that was a great scene. That was yeah. Was that a documented chuckle? I want to know when the other documented chuckle came.
I think I just nodded approvingly. That
Okay,
was
okay.
basically it.
With maybe a half smile.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. The next assignment, Gutenberg's assignment, Mahoney.
Yes.
He is a beach cop, basically. He gets to ride around with no sleeves and shorts, which is, I guess, why he has to go to the tailor later and have that awkward scene. But he is just, he's just cruising the beach on his little beach Jeep, right? Just trying to keep it safe for all the beachgoers.
It's like a prequel to Baywatch. He's like kind of like a David Hasselhoff as a cop. And,
Not quite,
and you
but
see
he
that
thinks, yeah.
and you see that he's like the most competent cop because he does sort of chase that guy down,
Oh,
the guy in
yeah.
the truck, and like it's Steve Gutenberg as a cop. It's like Mark Harmon as a teacher. It's just like, all right, he's super cool. We get it. He's laid back. He's not taking any of this seriously. But if he really wanted to do his job, he'd be really good at it.
He'd be good at it, yeah.
That's sort of what you get from him. The funny thing is, there are there are three other members of this team.
We don't know their
We
background.
don't see what
No.
Bubba Smith is up to.
No.
Or that nerdy guy.
or
or
Squeaky Lady,
yes,
yeah,
I
I know.
I don't know what they're up to. So
They either did it and they cut that out and they were like, we got to move this along, or they were just like, you know what, you're just part of the group of six that got
right,
chosen,
yes,
and it's really just these three that we
yeah. Yeah,
want
we
to
we
highlight.
got to move this along. We're almost at an hour 28 minutes. There
Yeah.
is no way we can pack in any more information in here. We don't
Well,
want to
because
bore the audience.
then the group is welcomed. Here we are. We are the new recruits. Welcome, men. He goes, welcome, men, and you.
And you, she's adorable. I mean,
Yeah.
Hooks is so cute. She's always cute. I think in later films she gets like more badass, meaning like she's always adorable, but she gets to punch more people and shoot
Yeah.
people and stuff like that. There's
Well,
not
like you
much
said,
of
they
that
just
here.
no, they just have her doing the dispatch. So she
Yeah,
really does. Although she does at the very end,
right.
because that's when even Gutenberg says, "Ah, it's good to have you. Where you been?" or something.
Yes, yeah. But we needed scenes with her, like at that switchboard, like scenes of her like being confused and having to like answer call. Like none
Yeah.
of that happens. She seems very competent, and that just doesn't go with what everybody
Frozen
else is doing.
prison.
So they're all there. I did notice. I did write in my notes. I was like, "Does the Goot have a sleeveless uniform?" Because
Oh
I
yeah.
really
Oh yeah.
didn't notice that he was just wearing shorts and a sleeveless police shirt.
I mean, if you're just prowling the beach, it's a little cumbersome to have the full uniform. Yeah.
So now we get a scene that makes no sense because I don't think this is how police uniforms work. Like, I don't think you go to a
Oh yeah. I
professional
don't think you go to the tailor to get them done. No.
I think
No.
they
I
just
think
ask
you.
you your shirt size and
Yes.
then give you a shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. But
We
if you're the Goot and you want it to fit just right,
right because
I
this
guess you
this
go to the tailor.
this Mauser guy, this guy that's trying to sabotage the whole thing, is giving everybody their assignments.
Yes,
And he's like,
he's in
hey,
charge of that.
Tackleberry, you like guns. You know how to ride a motorcycle. Go here. Bubba
Yeah.
Smith, you go whatever.
He's foot patrol.
You-
Foot patrol. They give him.
Foot Patrol. You, Squeaky, you get to work the switchboard. Fine.
Right.
But Gutenberg's not in this scene. We see him at a tailor's next to a kid that has a balloon giraffe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And he takes the balloon giraffe and then does the strangest thing, tucks it in his shorts.
Yep.
Where it doesn't even look like it's something that would be coming out of the shorts. And even the tailor, the lady doing the measurements, is like, yeah, I'm not even into that at all.
Yeah,
What are you doing? And
she's
she
like,
pops it.
That's clearly a balloon animal you have in your
Yeah.
pants. Like there's, and I expected there to be some sort of romantic subplot with he and this woman or something. No, there
No.
is nothing comes
No,
of
this
this.
scene just wastes our time.
It really does. It comes right after they get their assignments, and then suddenly he's back there in uniform. It is the most baffling scene in a movie filled with just nonsense.
Well, he's got his suit now, his full suit, so that he can do his duty, which, like you said, we don't realize it's sort of canine duty, or he's part of one of his two partners is he's part of the canine unit with that sloppy Schultzman, I think is his partner's
well,
name.
that's the whole joke. Is like, oh, you're super good looking and you care about your appearance. I got the perfect partner for you. Which again doesn't come to anything. Like, there's no friction between these people. And
No, they get along because he's a good guy.
Right.
I do like it. He goes to his apartment and like the chair is breaking, and he goes to sit on the chair, Gutenberg, and the chair breaks,
Right.
and then the apartment's just a cluttered mess. Like it looks like a hoarder lives there. He eats all the things he eats. He eats cereal, and I think there's a bug in his cereal. And then they're walking maybe from their car, and he reaches in the trash and picks up a Crunch Bar and is like, "Oh, I know why somebody threw it away. It has ants on it." But he blows the ants
Crushes
off, and
them
then
off.
he eats it anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
he's
was
just
thinking
gross.
that's disgusting. It's a Crunch Bar. Those things are gross. Also, it was in the trash. Like that I think was actually a genuine laugh. Just the fact that he reached it, he's like, I can't believe someone threw away a really good Crunch Bar. And Gutenberg's sitting there going, "You're not gonna don't eat that. Don't
Yeah,
eat that."
no, and he does. And
We
he
get
does.
the most generic like meeting of the cops and their partners
Oh, right.
and what they're doing. Like Tackleberry. he
Ooh,
has like a
Tackleberry's got a little
right.
love connection.
He has like a
Yeah.
sexy lady cop who is his motorcycle partner, but he doesn't really get along with ladies a whole lot. But they do bond over their love of guns.
Yeah. Yes.
This is where we see Hightower, Bubba Smith. He like throws a football to some guy. Like
He's not paired with anybody, is he?
no, I don't think
No,
so.
he's just on foot. They're like, you know what? No, you're good on your own. We won't.
You're big enough. You can handle everything.
The dopey, the nerdy guy. Again, we don't get much into him, but he just seems to be like he and his partner. They go to the donut shop where the car blows up behind them.
They're like
and they
two
have no
peas in a
idea.
pod. These guys.
Yeah.
They're just like donuts. Great, fantastic. I did think that was kind of funny where you see these punks dumping gasoline all over the car, and then he goes in to ask him for a match.
He gives it to him and goes, "Oh
And
yeah."
the guy gives him the whole pack, and his partner's like, "That's good. That's really good what you just did."
See, you're just trying to make friends with the. That's what you got to do. You got to get to know the public. You did that. Good job.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we obviously she doesn't have a partner because she's just manning the.
Right. She's at the switchboard with kind of the dumb guy, the dumb bad
No,
guy.
yeah.
Again, didn't write down his name, didn't write down anything he said, but I thought it was kind of funny.
I agree. I did too.
So after all of this, because we haven't seen that lamp store for at least 20 minutes, we're back at the lamp.
What's
store.
happening? The town lamp store is a hot place, and it's a hotbed for crime. Just so you know. No wonder he was locking it up so hard. That
Also,
night.
we see him early in the movie, the very first scene, we see him take money out of the register. And then when he does get robbed, he has $8. So nobody's going in the lamp store. I don't see why everyone is trying to rob this place.
I don't know why either. It must be some. Maybe that's in the third one. What the lamp
Oh,
store
okay.
really is selling.
Maybe that's why, like, as a cop, he's like, this lamp store is not working out.
Yeah.
Also, I saw those
No.
cops. They're super incompetent. I could probably be one.
They come to the lamp store. The punks are back at the lamp store to this time kind of smuggle or get money from the lamp guy. Like
Yeah, they
like
make
I
him
said,
open the
somebody he
safe
owes
and stuff.
somebody. He owes somebody the money from the drawer. But it looks like there's a burglary. There's a holdup happening.
Right.
And Gutenberg and his partner see it from the window. They call for backup. I think backup's denied.
Right. He doesn't send backup. That Mauser guy denies them backup because what's her name's Hooks is working the switchboard. And he's like, no, they don't need backup. Just send them in. So it's just them. But also, did other people hear this on the police scanner? Because
I think
everyone converges on this lamp store.
They all just know to go.
They all kind of sneak around. The bad guys, first of all, are long gone. Like, they are long gone.
Yeah,
at
they
this
go
point.
out the back and
Right.
hide, and they're not even involved in it. It's just the lamp guy. They're still hiding, I think.
His water machine, whatever those big water bottle machines are called. Machine? I call it a water cooler. Let's call it
Yeah.
that.
We can call it a water cooling machine
Oh,
if
okay.
you'd like, but
I'm sure there's some circuits in there. There probably isn't.
it does when you have to warm because sometimes it gives you hot
You
water.
get the hot
like for
water.
tea.
Okay, all right. Well, it continually makes noise in this movie that sort of like spooks everyone, and then they just light this place up. They just everybody. The motorcycle cop, the hot motorcycle cop, who is not one of these dumb recruits, comes in with what appears to be a machine gun and just
Yeah.
starts shooting everything.
Everything. Yeah, there is so much shooting happening. They blow the place up basically. Every one of them that comes, like you says, fires several rounds.
Yep.
The motorcycle cops themselves, gun enthusiasts, bring several types of guns to
Yeah.
shoot several rounds with. I did write it down. It was 1,200 rounds of ammunition and $76,000 worth of damage.
That's a lot of damage, and somehow they're holding the police responsible. That's an interesting turn of events.
And the bad guy is kind of like, ooh, this is going to make them great. This is their first, X marks the spot. And, Gutenberg comes through. They have a meeting, and the chief is like, this isn't good. But Gutenberg kind of turns it around.
Yeah,
and
Hessman's
says,
like, this is terrible. You guys
Yeah.
destroyed an entire business, thousands of dollars worth of damage. You probably, I don't even know where you got those weapons from. And the Goot stands up and he's like, we just care too much, you know?
That's what
If
it is.
everybody cared like us, this would be a great precinct. And it's just, we really, really care about the community. And for some reason, Howard Hessman's like, you know what? That's really good work, man. And it just
It's a
it
lot
makes
of
no
care.
sense.
Yeah.
Like there is a moment of possible conflict in this movie, and it's instantly diffused. Like there is
gone.
no conflict because it just has to be wacky gag after wacky gag. And I get it; it's a Police Academy movie. I understand, but I don't know that you needed them to unload in this lamp store the way they did.
I guess to have all the broken glass, all the lamp thing must be a thing.
Lots of
I don't know.
chandeliers. I
Yeah.
don't know. But in case you forgot that there's an evil gang in this movie,
Oh yeah, yep, there is.
now we watch them go shopping.
Yeah, on to the grocery store, little local grocery store shop. The light store guy is here too, by the way. He's in the grocery store,
He's
and
constantly they put
he
him in a
still
shopping
gets
cart.
harassed. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like they follow him around and just harass everyone around him, every place that he goes.
But now in the grocery store when they arrive, again, they're not, except for the lamp guy, they're not really threatening other people.
No.
They're just kind of making a mess. Like they're pulling things off the shelves and
Right. But also they're stocking the shelves later too. Bobcat Goldthwait is very appreciative as they leave. He thanks
I
the woman at the
found all the
register
bargains.
for all the great bargains. Like there's a moment where they come in and he grabs the microphone and he yells that he needs beer up here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like the most threatening thing they ever do in this
Yeah.
grocery store because they kind of just go shopping. Like it's
Yeah,
just
but
a
sloppy
food
shopping. They just
spree.
do some sloppy shopping. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not like they're criminals in like RoboCop or something where they're trying to rape people or something like
Nope,
that.
nope.
No, they
They're
just
not
went
dangerous.
shopping. That's all. But
They're just a little out of control.
yeah, but they're all wearing leather, so it's scary, I guess.
I think that's maybe what it is. And you don't know, again, because their leader is so crazy, you just don't know what they're going to say or
Right.
do.
Yes. And so now the cops are celebrating. I guess celebrating getting out of the trouble that they could have been in.
Oh, yes. Yes,
So
they're at the bar.
At the bar, Tackleberry comes in, and the Goot's like, "Hey, what's up?" And Tackleberry says that he needs to talk to him about a personal matter.
Oh, something personal.
Did you find it interesting that they sat down and the Goot looked at this bartender and he's like, a beer and a milk, and then the bartender goes, "Do you want
And
a
a
shot?" What? And the Goot's like, yeah, sure, okay, that sounds great.
When you're sitting down with a guy that drinks warm milk, I mean, maybe a shot with your beer is what you're going to need for this conversation.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Yes. But he talks about how he is totally in love with his partner.
And a virgin.
And
a total virgin.
yeah, he yells basically that he's a virgin. For some reason, for no reason, for whatever. I don't.
Well, the Goot's kind of taken aback. Like, clearly you have experience with ladies.
Right.
I see you with ladies all the time. And
That's what I don't
couldn't
get.
be more clear.
'Cause maybe in the first Police Academy we are supposed to think he's a ladies' man. I'm not sure. That's the problem with this sequel summer. Like we're not going to have any idea what's going on.
We don't know. We have no frame of reference.
Yeah,
What do
because
we
for
know?
some reason it's like, I saw you with a lot of ladies. I'm like, when? Are you talking about his motorcycle cop
And
partner?
he's so awkward. Like, he and the partner,
Yeah.
they're socially a little bit just awkward, which is fine. But that's why you're like, really? The ladies? How? When? You're not a charmer.
It's
But,
funny
yeah.
though. He says he's a virgin. The bar goes quiet. He yells,
Yes.
and then the scene just ends. Like,
And then we're done with
nothing
that.
is resolved.
We just needed you to know that. That's all. That's all.
And then it is a hard cut to the bad guys.
Yeah.
This Mauser guy and the silly guy. And
Oh, is this-
this silly guy shows him all these pictures of fruits at a bar. What?
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "No, I wanted pictures of the recruits at the bar." Also, I was like, why? Why did you even want them?
What does he say too when he's like, I don't need these pictures. He's like, do you want me to save them?
The fruits at the bar? I don't know. Come in handy later.
It is pretty good.
It is really funny.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Wait, what's happening right now in this movie?
And then is this when the lieutenant is like, he says how he just wants to get Mahoney's butt, and Mahoney's right there, and he's like, oh, you're talking about my butt, just so you know.
Because he sort of busts these guys down. Like, this Mauser guy has some sort of power. He's the one that gives them their jobs in the first place. So he's like, I'm going to bump all you down to whatever. Although all we see is Gutenberg and his partner sitting in a tunnel. Nobody else seems to be on different duty, or it's not like they take away Tackleberry's motorcycle or something. It's just
No, it's just the Goot that gets sort of demoted. But even that, what is it? So then they're demoted into the tunnel where they just have to watch for cars that break
right.
down.
And suddenly the dog is there. Like, the
Yeah.
dog has not been in this movie until this moment, and suddenly the dog is there just so we can hear cars crashing. And also, it appears to me, speaking of insensitivity, they appear to just be working the tunnel so they can make some blackface jokes later when they
Yeah,
show
they
up.
do
I was
make
like,
a terrible-
This is
yeah.
terrible. It's 1985, people. Come on.
Yeah. So when Goot goes back to the, I guess they do. Policemen have a locker room of
Right.
sorts, right? And the Goot's got soot all over his face, and they make a terrible blackface joke.
Yes.
It's really inappropriate.
I was like, oh my God, you're talking about fruits in a bar. Now there's blackface
Yeah,
jokes. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
how far are we going to take this?
We really are a little risque, yeah.
Right. This is also where Tackleberry is fixing his helmet just with
Yeah.
some glue, just with some epoxy. And
Yeah.
I love how Gutenberg, or the writers of this movie, were like, I don't think people are going to know what epoxy is. Let's have Gutenberg ask a lot of questions like, so is it glue? Yeah, it's kind of like glue. So what, does it become really hard? It kind of becomes like plastic. It's just so we as viewers...
So we get a background on what
understand
epoxy
what's
can
gonna
do.
happen.
Yeah.
And somehow this guy goes to take a shower. Don't know how Goot got this bottle in there before he got to the shower. But we see this Mauser guy. He's shampooing his hair.
It's a great little song Mauser's doing while he's in the shower. He's singing in the shower and he's like, I'm gonna be the chief and these guys are gonna like he's just got this whole little song that he's got about how he's gonna take over this precinct and these academy kids are gonna fail.
He puts the epoxy in his hair.
Uh-huh.
His hands get stuck. He's also got soap in his eyes, which I thought was kind of funny because when he comes
Yeah.
out, he can't open his eyes to see anybody.
And he's naked. He just runs out there naked and the what's his name? The sound effects guy.
Michael Winslow. Let's just call him Michael.
He's making sounds like he's a dog, like he's the dog trying to attack him. And so the bad guys kind of get nervous and nobody will help him. And he's getting angrier and angrier, of course. And he even walks out. I guess the chief is giving some kind of tour to some locals. I don't know what that's all about.
There's to be a tour. I didn't understand that at all. Like, just put a bunch of nuns out there for no reason. Like, if you're going to make this joke, go all in.
Right. But yeah, there's some civilians out there getting a tour, and he comes out. And again, not only is he naked and he can't see, but his hands are just glued into his hair.
I also like how he says to the chief after he looks around and sees that, he's out there and everybody can see him and he's got no pants on. He goes, if you need me, I'll be in my room. And I was like, your room? What? Do you mean your office? We know you have an office. Just say office.
Well, then he has his dumb assistant help him to cut his hair.
Right, yes.
And his hands away from his hair.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we then get a couple of scenes where we have a fun hairy palm joke that we get to repeat a few times.
Yeah. No werewolf jokes. I was surprised. I mean, all masturbation jokes, but still, like a werewolf joke, you could throw that in there.
They didn't. Then, and he also gets a terrible, terrible wig.
Oh my God. This wig that they put on him, it's kind of super funny because when that guy goes, or we could just get you a wig, I did not expect him to be wearing a wig for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. And it's beautifully combed over and very, very thick and
it's really flat though too.
Yes.
And it's just like, where did the hair that he had underneath go?
It's like he put it on backwards.
Yep, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, in a movie with a bunch of confusing scenes, how about this one? Where the, what would you call him, police chief? What do we call him?
I think he's the chief, yeah. Or the captain. Maybe he's the captain.
So, the teacher from head of the class, let's just call him
Even
that,
better. There you go.
for some reason, stumbles upon some punk women harassing children in an alley. He pulls up, gets out of the car, threatens to beat everybody up. The women run away, and it's just he and this guy. Now, he is an older gentleman, and this guy is huge. And
Right.
Hessman's just like, come on, now it's just me and you. Let's do it right now. All these punks jump out and carry him away.
Yeah, they literally lift him up and like carry him like a piece of like a log. Yeah.
Again, we have not seen him out on the beat. I don't think that's what police chiefs do. I think they just kind of ride a desk. It's a weird scene just so that we can say enough's enough.
Well,
Now
then he
it's-
comes
now
back
it's
spray painted.
personal.
They just spray paint him like rainbow colors. And he interrupts the meeting. It is funny because now you've got Harry Palms with his wig on, having a meeting with these new Academy members. And who walks in but the chief all spray painted? And he's like, exactly. He says, enough is enough. We've got to do something about this.
And then we see
yeah.
a random old man fire a gun in the air. Did you notice
Yes,
that?
yes.
An old cop that we have not seen in this
Never.
movie.
And don't see him again?
No,
Don't see him again?
don't say. And it is kind of funny, the reaction of everyone, because it really is just the police academy cops and the chief in this room, and they're like, "Let's go kick their asses." Suddenly, hard cut to an old man just shooting a gun in the air, and they all kind of look over like, "What the hell was that? Who was that?"
Why did you do that? Yeah. Meanwhile, they've been blowing up lamp stores left and right.
Oh, that seems unnecessary. I don't know if we should shoot guns in here. Tackleberry and his partner, we see them kind of like they're these two perps that I guess are stealing VCRs.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's right. And they make a comment about how they're a great little couple, right?
Right,
Don't they?
yes.
Like, can you invite us to the wedding?
Yeah. She hands him handcuffs, and their hands touch on the handcuffs, and it's an adorable, kind of weird little scene. The look on the perps' faces are kind of funny too.
Yeah.
I expected them to try and run, but no, they just want to be invited to the wedding. This is where we see Michael Winslow do some kung fu. A scene.
It's pretty fun.
I think this must have been the other. I'm just looking at the rest of my notes. I don't think I laughed at. Oh wait, no. There's another part that I kind of laughed at.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But we see some guys harassing a grocer. Apparently, like I don't know what this guy's doing.
I think it's just to show you the work that the team is still doing, maybe in the town. That,
Okay.
Like, still
That they
trying
really
to
are
fight. I don't
cleaning
know.
it up.
Yes. And so, yeah, because now they're harassing this grocer who's just trying to get his veggies together, and Michael sees them, and then he jumps the fence. That's how he starts his kung fu moves. There's like a big fence,
yes.
and he just jumps it, and then yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great the way he does his little Bruce Lee fake voice, whatever, mislead, and some great karate moves. I mean, better than we saw Chuck Norris do. I'll tell you that.
100 times better. If Michael Winslow was there, those guys would not be in that camp for 10 years. They'd be there for a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they would have been broken out.
And it would have been, the sound effects would have been amazing.
So much better.
Yeah.
You want to try and chain Michael Winslow's legs together? Good luck. You're not going to be able to do it. Because he'll just make the sound of chains clicking, and you'll think, wow, they just did that on their own.
Yeah.
I guess I must have locked these. But it is fun. Like, if you're just looking up clips from this movie on YouTube, it's worth checking this out. Yeah. Also, the nerd, the guy, this lamp store owner, he stumbles into a leather bar at this point because the punks are chasing him.
Yes, the Blue Oyster. Mm-hmm.
The Blue Oyster. All these gay guys are beating up on the punks now at this point. It's radioed back in. I did think it was kind of funny how the one guy knew the address exactly.
Oh, yeah.
He knew exactly where it was, and everybody kind of looked at him. The Goot and his partner show up, and is it the Goot that runs in and then immediately gets thrown out?
Gets thrown right out.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Hightower goes in, and he brings out all of the gang members one by one and throws them in that cage.
Which I guess is their paddy wagon, but it's literally like a cage. Like in our neighborhood, we don't have a real garbage truck. It's just like a man in a pickup truck, basically, that comes and collects your trash. We live in the country. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. That sounds like that guy's pretending to be the garbage man. He's just living in a garbage castle.
The Garbage King is what he calls his business. I don't question. But yeah, this paddy wagon or whatever you want to call it, he just
Mhm.
piles these like unconscious dudes that he just kind of is carrying out one by one of this bar.
Yeah. And
But
then
it's
the
a
goon
lot of these
drives
punks.
away, and
Yeah,
the goon and his partner like wave back like, "Hey, thanks for all your help." And he's just surrounded by all these
yeah,
gay men
yeah.
staring at him adoringly.
Oh yeah, they
It's
think he's
really
a
funny,
Pop Tart. Yeah, they're into it.
right?
Yeah.
So, also, this is kind of funny because now the team's really happy because they're
Oh
just like,
yeah.
"Oh, we caught everybody! It's wonderful."
Yeah, the arrests were made. The
Hmm.
captain's proud. It's a good
Yeah.
thing. The captain's making a call to his captain to say like, you're never
Yep.
going to believe this, but we're in such a good way.
Hmm.
And
But most of the
then
charges had to be dropped due to their excessive use of
too
force.
much force. This is this whole movie.
Yeah, I
How
know.
relevant are we?
I
How
know.
relevant are we?
We're so
Wow.
relevant. We're on the pulse of a nation. So also at some point, for whatever reason, Steve Gutenberg has ordered a cavity search.
Oh yeah. Well, this is because he knows that the bad guy has been trying to screw them over again, and maybe I don't know, maybe for the bad guy demoting his assignment. Yeah, so he orders a cavity search.
He orders
I
a
don't
cavity
know.
search for him because like a nurse and some orderlies come in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, apparently that guy's getting a full cavity search. It's hilarious. This is when they go on their
Yeah.
dates.
Yeah.
And he got her earrings that are handcuffs.
Cuffs. Yeah,
It's
cuff
very
earrings.
cute. Like that's super adorable.
Yeah.
Um,
They go dancing at a luau? Like, where are they?
I don't know. I did find this actually sweet. Like I was watching this going, this is kind of cute in this movie. Like I could spend more time with these two.
You
But
wanted
you're
to
right.
know more about
There
it,
is
yeah.
like a luau. For some reason they're dancing. They're having some drinks. They're eating. Then they're dancing alone. Like they closed this place down.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It was a good night for these two.
I thought it was funny how they come back and she says goodnight to him and stuff, and then she ends up saying that she loves him, and he says ditto. And my thought was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's where Patrick Swayze got that from. In Ghost. He
There you
must
go.
have been a
He
big
must
Police
have been
Academy fan.
obviously, especially the second one. That's
Mhm.
his jam. Yeah. I like they're in her apartment. She takes down the Murphy bed
Yep.
to kind of welcome him over for the spend the night, and then they literally there's a pile of weapons that
Yeah.
as they're getting sexy with each other, they remove off of each other's bodies, and
It's the
yeah.
joke that, in so many movies you would see, like, off to the side. The camera would pan down and you'd see, like, shirt, pants. But in here, it's just giant guns.
guns, grenades,
Right.
all kinds of yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. So now we're sort of nearing the end of this, or getting to sort of like the big finale almost. This is when Hessman asks Punky Brewster's dad to meet him at a hibachi for some reason.
Yeah.
And why does Punky Brewster's dad suggest a street fair? Well, how is that the answer to all of their problems? Because it really is like, this is terrible. I don't know what to do. And he's like, why don't you just have a street fair?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. I did not understand, but it
It's
does. Go
It's
ahead.
explained by one of the punks when they stumble upon it and says,
it?
like, what's going on? He's like, he literally just explains, he's like, well, the police put on this fair to raise money for their policing, basically. But it's also to sort of maybe bring the community together and help some morale, I'm guessing. I don't know. It's not clearly discussed, but you're right. It's a lame fair. Let's also be honest.
If you had these lines, when the punks show up, if you had these lines written down, I would love to do a little line reading of this scene where you play Bobcat Goldthwait and I play the punk that is next to him. Because when Bobcat Goldthwait says, do you think they have a Ferris wheel? And the rest of the punks go, yeah! And he goes, well, I don't like them. They kind of make me sick.
They
And they all
go,
go,
"Oh."
And the
Yeah.
guy next to him goes, well, you don't have to ride it. And Bobcat's response is, but I kind of want to. This is the gang. This is the gang that we're dealing with. And that was the scene in the movie where I laughed again. That was really
This
funny.
is the gang taking over the city, mind you.
Just
This is
how
the gang
genuine
the
that
cops can't
blonde-haired
control.
guy is when he goes, well, you don't have to ride it. I found that so entertaining and so amusing.
The gang really has a lot of compassion for their leader.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's I guess a wonderful thing.
Oh my God.
Then they decide to go have some fun. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, this comes to nothing.
No. Once they arrive again because
Yeah.
they're not really dangerous. So they arrive at the fair and everyone's like, "Oh no, the gang's here." And it's like they just knock over tables and they cut in line. Like there's nothing so dangerous
really
that they
is.
do.
It really is. There's nothing dangerous. And also, I was really waiting for it. I was like, oh, the big finale's going to happen here. There'll probably be a big
here
chase.
at the fair.
We'll jump
right.
on rides. Like, this will be hilarious. No, suddenly, Steve Gutenberg's suspended.
Yeah.
And then he decides to go undercover because that's Hessman's big plan is he's like, you can go undercover. There won't be a lot of pay.
Yeah,
There
I
won't be
can't
any
actually
pay.
protect you. Yeah.
I like how his partner's like, and you could be killed.
Yeah.
But the Goot decides to infiltrate this gang by putting on a fake mustache and a mullet.
Talking like a 1920s bar owners.
He's talking like a newsie. I don't know what he's doing. He wears a giant trench coat and he has a pipe and he just like hits the fences and stuff. And then he smashes up a telephone booth.
Oh, I do like that when he takes the lady out of the telephone booth and he's like, "She'll call you back."
Call you back. And he smashes a few windows and then yells again, "I told you she'll call you back." But some of Bobcat's thugs see this and they sit down with him
They
and
see
they
the
have
potential.
a conversation. They're just like, "Why'd you do that?" "Because I wanted to." "What's your name?" "Jughead." "What gang are you with?" "The Archies." He gave this no thought at all.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And then at this point, he has Michael Winslow show up.
Yes.
And he makes Michael Winslow kick his partner, which I thought was kind of funny. He bend over and makes Michael Winslow kick his partner. I thought that was kind of funny. Also, just in case we thought maybe a night of passion was enough for this new couple.
Oh, right. Oh, whoa, yeah, when he
Goes to meet her family.
But her family, like, hello, her family is a little bit strange. Her father and her brother like to essentially beat the shit out of each other.
They are just wailing on each other, but laughing the whole time.
And she too is like, oh my God.
She finds it hilarious. And he's sitting on the couch. He looks so uncomfortable. It was super fun. But again, what's going on?
Why? I don't know why.
So now they decide, because now I guess the gang is like, hey, Jughead, you can meet our leader, Bobcat Goldthwait. So now the cops decide to mic him up.
But with the hugest mic. Like a joke. It's a bright yellow microphone.
With like a big ball on the top.
Yes.
A big foam ball on the top. And he even says something like, "Where did you get this?" And they're like, it's police issued. And he goes, "Why does it say Mr. Microphone on it?"
And it plays, what does it play? Like sporting events?
It's like sports every now and then. I guess it will tap into a radio station or something.
Yes.
But anyway,
Jughead is off, undercover, and ready to go and to get taken to. Oh, as they put him in, in his undercover garb, they let him know, it's going to be tricky to track you because they can't really, it's not really police work.
Right.
Following him because he's been put on leave. So they're like, you got to keep us posted. You got to talk into your mic and let us know where you are, which he does.
Right.
With his little, like you said, newsies. Hey guys, where are we going?
Hey,
Where are you taking me?
What are we doing here, folks? Fellas, what are we doing? Yeah, so they take him. I like how they're like, "Hey, it's such a nice day. Why don't you take your big giant coat off?" And he's like, "I like to be hot." All right. Okay, great. So they take him to the old zoo.
Yes.
Where Bobcat Goldthwait's watching Family Affair, which I thought I did. Again, just sitting there watching Family Affair, having a great time.
Just enjoying himself. He's in the cave part of the big zoo. I assume maybe where the bears would be?
Yeah, I'm not sure how zoos work, but yeah. So I mean, he's found out almost instantly because he keeps opening his jacket and muttering "old zoo" into
Well,
it.
and he says, where are we? We're at the old zoo. That's right. We are at the
Yeah.
old zoo.
Yeah, you see, we're
Yeah.
the old zoo.
But then the it goes off. The sports starts playing, and that's really the dead giveaway. Like if Gutenberg wasn't
Right.
awkward enough, answering his questions,
Yep.
and what is he does? He asks him a couple of questions that he answers wrong, and I like it when he takes off his mustache. Zed or Bobcat, when he takes off his mustache and realizes that he's an undercover cop, he's like, "You're a cop, and you're an ugly cop."
Yes. Yeah, that was fun.
But now all units have to come in and help him.
Right,
Because
yes.
shit. Yeah.
And it's a whole big. I wasn't. I honestly, I could not pay attention at the end of this. They're
wow.
running all around. They're arresting people. They're punching people. Somebody like swings in. I didn't really know what was.
Well, there's like a
happening,
weird
honestly.
bridge that they have to take to get
Yeah.
into the cave. That
Those old zoos, bridges everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
you know how that
That's why
is.
they had to update zoos. You can only have like 2 people on the bridge at a time.
it's not easy. It's not. Yeah, it's the whole gang basically swarms in somehow. They get in there. I do like it. What's his name with the sound effects? Michael
Winslow.
Thank you, Michael Winslow. He has a bullhorn and he's just making all kinds of sound effects, like a helicopter
Yeah.
and guns. So he's making it sound like there's a lot more action happening down there than
He seems
what
to
really
have
is.
the easiest job because he is just standing in a corner with a bullhorn. Everybody else
Yeah.
is punching people, tackling guys, and he's just standing there making noises.
making all the noises.
But that's his
making-
contribution.
Yeah.
At the end, Bobcat Goldthwait falls down a ton of steps, and I did like the ADR job as he's falling
Oh,
down the
yeah.
steps. You just hear him go, "That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt."
Because he rolls down each one, but it's the captain that then is able to come
Right.
and make that final arrest. I guess, yeah.
It's not even the captain. I mean, the captain, yes, but it is Hooks who
Yes, that's
finally
right.
defeats Bobcat Goldthwait at the bottom of the steps.
Mm-hmm. So really, it was a team effort, but the captain is given back his hat.
Yes.
And wow, we did it.
But also, like, there's no comeuppance for. I mean, I guess he's getting a full cavity search, which maybe is enough. But we don't get resolution. Like,
No.
we don't get the bad cops being busted down. Like, why can't those 2 guys sit in a tunnel at the end of this with black smoke all over their
I
faces?
agree.
Like,
Yeah,
why
something.
not? But
Yeah.
at the end of this, we have to have a wedding.
It's just a wedding.
With a wedding.
It's a happy wedding, yeah. Where we have these goofy lovebirds and her parents are back. Maybe that's why we had to meet her parents in the first place so they could show up at the wedding.
Sure.
I don't know. And then they
Yeah.
get in the hugest truck with the biggest wheels ever, which
Right.
I don't understand that either.
That drives on the sidewalk too. It's
Yeah.
not even on the street. They just
Yeah, I don't
drive
know.
away
I
down
don't
the
know.
sidewalk. Cops. Oh man. Anyway,
Anyway,
And
Police Academy
roll
2.
credits. Yeah, Police Academy 2.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, this is supposedly one of the better Police Academy movies, which really doesn't make me excited about revisiting this series. And knowing that we have 6 of them made in this decade.
I guess there's maybe silly parts or like characters maybe that you really like, so you want to follow what their silly antics are. Or maybe Punky Brewster's dad comes back. We all want him to.
I
But
totally did, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe in 3, when Bobcat Goldthwait's a cop, and they
Yeah.
have more to do, and that nerd's a cop now, but still, I keep saying maybe this, maybe that. If
Maybe
one's
this one didn't
apparently
work for you.
No, I'm in no hurry.
yeah.
So we'll get
Alright.
to them, but maybe we'll get to them right before we finish out all the Chuck Norris movies.
Oh no. Well, okay,
This will be
having
the
said
saddest
that,
end of this podcast.
I know for us. Having said that, it's okay if you're going to gauge it.
Let's
it's
do our final
better.
judgments
It's-
here. But go ahead.
It like you said, I'm the same way about the Police Academy movies. I sort of remember them. I know that they were funny to me. I remember certain characters, but I couldn't tell you any plots. I really couldn't tell you any distinctive memory of them. But watching this didn't make me want to necessarily revisit them. Was it as bad as a Chuck Norris movie? No.
No, I didn't have to watch it in like 3 or 4 pieces. Like that's a
Do-
good thing. I mean, it goes down relatively smooth because it's a short movie and not much is happening. But I wouldn't say it's good.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There we
Not
have
good.
it.
All right. Excellent. Do you have a recommendation?
I do, though. I do, and mine is very, very recent.
Okay.
Not only that I saw it recently, I just saw it last Friday, but it's very recent as in it recently came out. It's on Netflix now, only because it couldn't get released to the theaters because of COVID. The movie The Lovebirds, it's with Kumail I'm going to mess up his name, Nanjiani, and Issa Rae.
Okay.
Do you know who he is and who she is?
I know who
he
is.
And she
I
has
might
her
know her
own.
if I see her.
Yeah, but their chemistry in this is phenomenal. It's directed by Michael Showalter, and it's like a murder mystery. So they're a couple that is on the verge of breaking up, and they are basically they've been dating for 4 years, and they're in the car, and they're basically having this fight where they're going to break up, and they run over a man. And it gets more involved than that.
Right.
They get involved in this big murder mystery that they then decide to help solve. And they go through all these different they have all these different little situations, just hilarious little situations that they get into because they are trying to figure out to solve this mystery. I thought it was really funny and kind of a cute little, fun movie, and again, the two actors together really have a great chemistry, and it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than Police Academy 2.
All right.
So it's called The
Wow.
Lovebirds.
All
It was
right.
on Netflix. Recommend it. Yeah.
I will.
How about you?
I will check that out.
Yeah, you would like it.
Mine, I chose a cop movie.
Good.
It's a Hong Kong cop movie.
Hey.
Most people listening have probably seen The Departed. It won Best Picture, Martin Scorsese. But some people might not know that's a remake of a Hong Kong movie called Infernal Affairs. And if, like me, you didn't really like the ending of The Departed, and maybe you really don't like the fact that Marky Mark is in that movie, I would watch Infernal Affairs.
This makes up for it.
Because
Okay.
the ending of Infernal Affairs is amazing. It's so great. And I hate to say bad things about Martin Scorsese because he's great, but he really Americanized or kind of gave The Departed a happier ending or more of a satisfying ending with some closure. Infernal Affairs doesn't do that. It's a really brutal but awesome ending. So
Okay.
check that out.
All
and
right.
Marky Mark's not in it, so you don't have to watch
So
it.
there's that. There's that.
Right.
Marky
You don't have to
Mark.
see a rat at the end and go, "Oh, a rat. I get it cuz he was a rat." So if you hated that about The Departed, I hate The Departed so much.
I could see that. I could hear it. Yeah.
Check out Infernal Affairs. It's awesome. So,
Excellent.
all right. So, Jamie, in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
the summer of sequels rolls on.
Keeps on going.
And I have some good news for you. Because
Yeah.
if you liked Michael Winslow doing some karate, how do you feel about a Karate Kid doing some karate?
Wow. But the second one,
The second Karate Kid
Karate Kid 2.
2, which I always
Okay.
love the Karate Kid Part 2 because it's one of those rare movies that starts at the very end of the last one. Like literally they
Picks
are
right
in
up,
the
yeah.
parking lot after the big tournament at the start of the second movie. It's great.
It's like when shows did a to be continued, and it was just to be continued. Right there we go, picking it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am I think this is the one where he goes to Japan. Lots of bonsai trees or something. I don't know.
Gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I remember enjoying this entire series when I was younger. I'm kind of afraid to watch it now because it might be terrible, the second one. But that's what we're going to do.
You know what? We're diving in head first. Let's do it.
Diving in head
All
first
right.
to the second movie of a series. Again.
Let's All right, Karate Kid 2 coming up next.
It'll be
All
a
right.
lot of us going, where did this Karate Kid come from? Why do they call him the Karate Kid? I don't understand.
What's happening? Where's Mr. Miyagi? I'm assuming Mr. Miyagi is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah.
First of all, I like that you call him Mr. Miyagi. I like that a lot. All right. Anyway, so we will talk to you all again in 2 weeks when we discuss the Karate Kid Part 2. Until then, have a great 2 weeks, everybody.
Goodbye.
My mother's name is Jughead.
But he was the only one who was egged. It would be funnier if he walked in and everybody was covered in eggshells.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
just him.